How's it going, guys? So we have tentatively put together a battery out of these LG Chem 60 amp hour cells, and 218 watt hours each, and there's 3 in a pack, and this is a 7S pack. So here we have it on the charger. Here we got 27 volts at 10 amps. Got a little BMS here. It's a little baby Dally 24 volt 7S 16 amp. Just using this at the moment just to get some charge in them. I'm not here that often now, so I haven't been getting a great deal of time to charge it, because this should be about that's 660 watt hours per 3 pack. So it's like 5.6 kilowatt hours ish, somewhere there. So yeah, a fair bit of energy when you're only pushing it in at 270 watts at a time. So this is just kind of a pilot test to charge one of these up, and then I use the 24 volts off it until the BMS cuts out. Try and do that through a capacity test meter, and then we should have some kind of ideas as to what we can get out of a big pack, because I got a few of them separated out already. The problem was trying to find a BMS to suit, and I've got one at home now. It's a 100 amp Dally 24 volt BMS, so that's good for 2.5 kilowatt hours basically, constant. Finding one for the LiPo cells now is getting a lot harder. Most things are lithium iron phosphate cells now, when it comes to these Dally BMSs. So it was good to find one that wasn't. It's got the exact same plug as this, so when I put terminals on all of these, it will be very easy to switch it over to the big BMS. Now, majority of my off-grid equipment's 12 volt, but that still doesn't mean that I can't have a half-decent battery bank that's 24 and drop into a lithium battery bank or similar that is 12. So I can also build a 12 volt one of these, because I have around at the other house a 60 amp red arc 24 to 12 charger, or 24 to 30.8 step down charger, and I have a couple of BC DC 20s and 25s. So they'll all take input voltages up to 32 volts and spit out battery charging power. So I have the ability to step it down very easily from one thing to another, and storing it at 24 volts also means that my not Victron but Victron Blue Power 150/70 amp MPPT, we get double the amount of panels out of our 70 amps if we go 24 volts. So I think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to go 24 volt for our storage battery. I've got a fellow that's interested in buying some of these. I've got to get in contact with him, because there's some out there on the pallet. We'll offload some of those to him, but I reckon I'll keep probably 25 kilowatt hours of storage. Get them up on the system and start collecting the sunshine, because all of our energy bills are only going to continue to go up, and much better off being responsible for your own energy. Don't get any nasty bill shocks and stuff like that if you generate it yourself and understand how hard it is to generate it / use it and conserve it and all those kinds of things. People with mains just don't understand. So wiring this is extremely simple in the respect of the BMS, because it is literally already wired in packs of 3 with these bus bars. So these are already pre-configured in lots of 3s. That's dodgy, I understand. That's just there for charging purposes, so that we could get the battery charge point onto the battery, and then we can run backwards through the actual BMS to charge him up. And we've got our main negative there, main positive at the bottom, 7 steps in between, as denoted by the connector. So that's obviously not the fastest way to charge it, and you could charge it a hell of a lot quicker than with just 10 amps. We could probably put 200 amps realistically into it. It's 180 amps, so you could definitely do 1C, no problems with something like this. There's no cell compression. Well, there would be a bit of cell compression in there at the moment, but we're never going to be cycling these like they are in an electric car, so I don't think we're going to have anywhere near the issues. I'm happy if someone knows better to let me know. This was my first tester, and the BMS actually died on this one. Cheap BMS died on this one. So I'm looking for a 3S BMS to 4S BMS, 4S LiPo BMS, sorry, to get that back in service. Because I have a nice 1200 watt Victron Phoenix that will allow a 4S battery. And then I'll just need some kind of charge control that I can configure it so it can get its charge all the way up to that 16.8 or whatever it needs to. But yeah, we've got a few of them doing a little bit. Yeah, pretty happy with all the test results on all the singular cells that I did. As you can see, I've undone some screws, and all the singular cells were testing fine. So I was getting my whole 180 amp hours out of them. I was doing regen tests back into my off-grid pack at home with the antimatter battery charger, LiPo charger that does regen. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty happy with the results with these so far. I could charge a 12 volt pack with one of these quite successfully and quite fast, but it'd only be a 3S. That one only does up to 15 volts, but it does 40 amps. So constant current, constant voltage, 40 amps, which is a fair bit of power. You know, it's like over 500 watts that can put out quite easily. You never really realise how much variation there is in the power that a laptop pulls. They're up and down like a yo-yo. As soon as you start putting some load on something with a decent CPU in it, man, it changes. Yeah, anyway, I've got to go, so we'll shut this off to make it safe. I always like to back the current down on these before I shut them down. I got 26.3 volts in there. Shut down, disconnect the power wire there, and leave it be. So yeah, coming soon we'll have a video capacity testing that. It's still quite manageable, you can pick it up quite easily, and if it came to it, we could always put the aluminium end plates back on and band strap it back together or something like that, you know, to get that compression again. But I don't think we need that, and yeah, all's good. Catch us on the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll get some testing done on these soon, but I just wanted to show you how I was charging a 7S setup up to start testing, I guess. Thanks for watching.